Good morning. Starting a short work week, and been thinking about some things. One is about like the balance of what I do on my free time. Like on my last weekend, last several weekends, I've been trying to go on a hike every weekend, and it's great. Then one day, I watched movies and played video games like all day long. Like I was, like I stayed in my robe and, ate food and played games and watched movies and just sat there forever. And I felt kind of bad about it. Like it didn't feel like a good way to spend my time. Like I don't know if it doesn't even necessarily feel like a reward to play video games and watch movies, except for the fact that I watched some good movies that were, enjoyable, ones I wanted to see for a long time. Like I saw Spider-Man Homecoming, which was fun. And I don't know. It's difficult. Like obviously I can't be hiking every single day because I'm not hiking Pacific Crest Trail. And obviously watching movies and playing games is good. I mean, if I sat on the couch, which I'd like to do more, and read a book all afternoon, listened to some classical music, I wouldn't have had any regrets at all. Like in my mind, that's valuable. Like in my mind, going for a hike is valuable. But in my mind, watching movies and playing video games is not valuable. I don't know why that is. It just is. I'd like it to not be. I don't want to play video games and watch movies all the time, but I guess part of my brain kind of wants to go hiking all the time. I guess that's why one of the things about having Akila in my life is we were out every day, and longer was better. There's no reason, if there's sunlight, there's no reason to go home. What was the other thing I was thinking about? I was trying, I've tried a couple different techniques. So basically how do you fix the inside of your head when it's been damaged, and admittedly it's partially my fault in a couple different ways. If something bad happens to you, something bad happened to me, and I dwell on it all the time, that's that. If that starts becoming my thoughts all the time, my quality of life is gonna be so bad, and then so much of my effort's gonna be trying to cope with how bad I feel because of the thoughts I dwell upon all the time. And so I was trying some different techniques of different forms of meditation practices. One is which you're thinking about I'm on my way to work right now, and I'm like, God, did I turn off the stove? I didn't use the stove this morning, but you say your brain says that. Did I turn off the stove? And you say you can't think about that now. Maybe that's a bad example. How about have I balanced my checkbook? And you say to yourself, all right, we're not thinking about that right now. Right now we're going to work. We could balance the checkbook later, but right now we're focused on this. Talking to myself like I'm somebody else, which I do often. So basically I'm trying to give my brain some breathing room. And so I went from consciously trying not to dwell, and that started working pretty good. And so then I went to consciously thinking I'm going to take a month off about thinking about anything that's taken place in the past as best I can. And these thoughts would come up on my past. No, it's past. Not thinking about it. That's the past. And then there was one particular person from my past that takes up way too much of my thinking time, and I'm just I'm not thinking about this person for a real long time. I'm giving this person a permanent time out for a long time. I've thought about them way too much and about how upset they've made me, and then they continue to make me upset, or I make myself upset for decades, long after I've ever even seen them ever again. And what's the point? It's making me miserable. The idea is give my brain some breathing room and give it a chance to recover. And it's really worked. I saw this this quote from I think Duncan Trussell about like you need to provide your brain with a tent to live in while you temporarily, so you could go fix your house. Your something like that, like your life, like you need to be a little outside of your life at times so you could fix it. And I was thinking that's what I've been doing with trying to take a break from any kind of negative thoughts or thoughts of the past, and because some of them are worries and things like that too, like these constant dreams of being homeless. It's like that's obviously a worry and a fear, and if you like just keep giving in or giving power or time to these fears, the fears like gain strength, and that they're just easier to remember. You're more likely to dream about them. Like more likely, especially as I drive to work, I see homeless along the whole route. And I'm like, so it's like the your fear is made real, and you see it every day. Another friend of mine said too about life. It's like a lot of life is just having to do everyday stuff. Unfortunately, like we're not living fantasy lives. That's just not the reality. It's not our option. So a lot of life is like going to work and doing laundry and being so exhausted, even from just a couple days of work, getting so exhausted that like you don't feel like going shopping for yourself, or you don't feel like like cleaning up the living room or folding your clothes. Like you're just like or going out and mow the lawn. Don't want to do it. Or even sometimes going hiking. It's cold, wet, you're warm and tired. You want to go out and get cold, wet, and more tired. There was this exercise that I was doing a while back, and I did a couple of them this morning, and I think I'm gonna start doing that maybe after work. I don't know about doing it in the morning, but it's just like you just like stand naturally, like your feet like slightly spread apart, and you put a weight between your legs, and you just reach down with one arm, pick the weight up, stand up, bring the weight up to your shoulder, and then raise the weight up above your head, and then bring it down your shoulder, and then place it on the floor again between your legs, and just do that 5 times, and switch arms and do that 5 times. That's real simple, and like even doing it very briefly, like you kind of feel the muscles of your whole body kind of start to warm up a little bit. Like it seems to hit just a little bit of everything. So I'm gonna get back into that. It's simple, it's fast, and I think that's what I need. Like, I suppose I could get on the rowing machine and row for like 5 minutes. Like that would be better than nothing. Like 5 minutes of the rowing machine every day means it would be in the middle of the living room again, which was a pain in the ass. But who knows? But I think that a lot of the times, and obviously this last time of being like super depressed, being more physical was really helpful. And now I think that like being more physical, now that I'm not depressed, still being more physical would be still beneficial for my body and my mind. Getting a little tired, getting stronger, probably give me more energy, which actually might turn that one hike a week into maybe 2 hikes a week. Like I could get a short one in after work. I guess especially like in March, the clocks are changing, I think. Anyway, it's getting lighter later, so I get off work. There's still plenty of light. You know, I could go somewhere and take a short hike. All right, that's what I'm thinking about this morning.